Tanzania versus Kenya. Tanzania is home to some of Africa's most famous national parks and natural attractions, including majestic Mount Kilimanjaro. Consequently, the most popular things to do in Tanzania, and the reason many people visit the country, are the safaris and wildlife-related adventures. Kenya, on the other hand, is a country in East Africa famed for its scenic landscapes and vast wildlife preserves. Its Indian Ocean coast provided historically important ports by which goods from Arabian and Asian traders have entered the continent for many centuries. One thing we can say about them is they sure know how to draw in tourists. In today's video, we'll be giving you many more reasons why you should visit either of these countries in a Tanzania vs Kenya comparison. Stay tuned and let us know which is going to be your choice. Let's get straight into it with geography. The Republic of Kenya is a fascinating country with rich geographical features, as well as diverse sociocultural and physical settings, and Tanzania is mountainous, with a central area that is part of a large plateau covered in grasslands. The country also contains the southern portion of Lake Victoria on its northern border with Uganda and Kenya. The size of a country's surface area is an essential metric, since it might be appealing to live in large cities or countries, because a greater region may provide more possibilities for residents and visitors. It can be nice to live in big cities or countries, as a larger space may offer more options for residents and visitors. Kenya has a surface area of 580,367 square kilometers, and Tanzania has a surface area of 947,300 square kilometers. Agricultural land is critical to a country's GDP and prosperity. In Kenya, 48.1% of land is dedicated to agricultural use, including arable land, permanent crops, and permanent pasture, while in Tanzania, 43.7% of land is dedicated to agricultural use. This indicates that the agriculture industry contributes more to Kenya's GDP than it does to Tanzania's. Forests have an important role in the landscape and ecosystem of every country. Forest cover has an important function in eliminating pollutants and purifying the air. Forests represent 6.1% of Kenya's land area, compared to 37.3% in Tanzania. As a result, the air in Tanzania is cleaner than in Kenya. Demographics. A country's population is its people and the nation's beating heart. Because of their huge economies, populous cities or countries usually provide more job prospects. Large cities are often major cultural centers and research hubs, and they attract businesses and investment. Tanzania has a population of 55.89 million, while Kenya has a population of 49.36 million. This populace is dispersed unevenly. There will be more people in some areas of the country than in others. Population density is the term widely used in such cases. Talking of which, the density of a population indicates how congested or dispersed the population is. Overcrowding can occur in cities or countries with high population densities, which can be problematic if infrastructure is lacking. Kenya's population density is 78 persons per square kilometer, while Tanzania is 59 people per square kilometer. The term average population growth rate refers to how quickly this population grows over time. The annual rise or decrease in population is represented by the population growth rate. The global population is now increasing at a rate of 1.07% every year. The more vibrant society feels, the higher the growth rate. Kenya has a 1.57% annual population growth rate, while Tanzania has a 2.74% annual population growth rate. The population of Tanzania is expanding at a quicker rate than that of Kenya. Every country has a life expectancy age. The average life expectancy at birth is the estimated number of years that a country's people will live. The entire quality of life is reflected in this measure. Kenya has a 64.6 years average life expectancy at birth, while Tanzania has a 63.1 years average life expectancy at birth. As a result, a Kenyan has better chances at living longer than a Tanzanian. Kenya should definitely fill us in on their secret. A country's population is influenced by two major factors: its birth rate and its mortality rate. The death rate commonly known as the crude death rate, is the number of annual fatalities per 1,000 persons at the halfway point of the year. Kenya has a death rate of 5.34 per thousand people. Tanzania has a death rate of 6.7 per thousand. The annual number of births per 1,000 people is referred to as the birth rate, often known as the crude birth rate. It is one of the key factors used to determine the population growth rate and is calculated in the middle of the year. The current birth rate for Kenya in 2022 is 27.7 births per 1,000 people, a 1.1% decline from 2021. The birth rate for Kenya in 2021 was 27.976 births per 1,000 people, a 1.1% decline from 2020. The current birth rate for Tanzania in 2022 is 35.5 births per 1,000 people, a 0.98% decline from 2021. The birth rate for Tanzania in 2021 was 35.848 births per 1,000 people, a 0.97% decline from 2020. Next on this list is economy. Until the COVID-19 pandemic, Kenya was one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, with an annual average growth of 5.9% between 2010 and 2018. With a GDP of $95 billion, Kenya recently reached lower middle income status and has successfully established a diverse and dynamic economy. The economy of Kenya is a market-based economy with a few state enterprises. Major industries include agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, manufacturing, energy, tourism, and financial services. The forecast for growth is promising. This year, the GDP is expected to increase by 5.0% and 5.9%, respectively. The recovery assumes that economic activity will return to normal as a result of a full reopening of the economy, the successful implementation of the economic recovery strategy, and Kenya taking advantage of expected improvements in external liquidity and initiatives to meet its external financing needs. Debt refinancing, restructuring, and debt service relief, as well as further concessional loans, could be among the external initiatives. As a result of increased revenue collection and exports, inflation is expected to remain within the Central Bank of Kenya's target range of 2.5% to 7.5%, and fiscal and current account deficits are expected to reduce. Growth slowed to 2.1% in 2020 from 6.8% in 2019 because of COVID-19. Growth was driven mainly by construction and manufacturing on the supply side and investments on the demand side. Monetary policy has been accommodative to support credit and economic growth, with a reduction in the policy rate from 7% in August 2018 to 5% in May 2020, where it remains. In Tanzania as well, the economic outlook is positive, with real GDP projected to grow 4.1% in 2021 and 5.8% in 2022, due to improved performance of the tourism sector and the reopening of trade corridors. Energy and fuel price increases are expected to persist in 2021, raising overall inflation to 3.9% in 2021 and 3.4% in 2022. Spending on large infrastructure projects and depressed revenue performance are expected to widen the fiscal deficit to 3.2% of GDP in both 2021 and 2022, financed mainly by external borrowing. Let's carry on with quality of life. Our focus now shifts to health and quality of life, with obesity as the starting point. A BMI of 30 or higher indicates that an adult is obese. Obesity is a public health issue that raises the chance of developing chronic illnesses. Kenya has a 7.1% obese adult population, while Tanzania has 8.4% obese adult population. According to official data, more than 36% of Kenya's population lives in poverty, while about 23% of Tanzania's population lives in poverty. In Kenya, about 64% of the population has access to improved drinking water sources such as piped water or protected wells, but in Tanzania, about 56% of the population has access to better drinking water sources such as piped water. School life expectancy represents the number of years of schooling that children are expected to complete. School life expectancy includes primary to tertiary education. Kenya has a school life expectancy of 16 years and Tanzania has a school life expectancy of 8 years. Tourism. Tourism is one of the cornerstones of Tanzania's economy, contributing about 17.2% to the country's gross domestic product and 25% of all foreign exchange revenues. The sector, which provides direct employment for more than 600,000 people, generated approximately $2.4 billion in 2018 as government statistics show. In Tanzania, the three most common adventure tourism activities are mountain climbing, scuba diving, and safaris. Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Meru, and the Usambara Mountains are the three most popular climbing/trekking destinations. Kenya has many tourist attractions ranging from the sandy beaches at the coast, diverse flora and fauna, game parks, cultural heritage, scenic landscapes, just to name but a few. The Nairobi National Park is within the boundaries of the city of Nairobi. The tourism sector, according to reports, creates jobs for 11% of Kenya's workforce. It diversifies the economy and boosts other sectors, such as transport, food and beverages, entertainment, and textiles. While the high volume is good for business, it is also taxing to prominent beaches. Conclusion. Kenya and Tanzania are both beautiful countries with something for every visitor. It all depends on your taste and preferences. In general, they are both excellent countries with robust economies. They both have excellent touristic sites to keep you entertained. But as we all know, a comparison can't end without a winner, and Tanzania takes the win for this round. Tell us in the comment section if you agree with us. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next videos.